The Twitch thing is it is probably one of the worst. They, by the way, just take note. They dropped this last night at 3 a.m. their time. As a company, you do not drop a press release at 3 a.m. that is supposed to be good unless there's like a significant reason. Like, for example, last week with the Kiriko stuff, like they wanted to do it like, or it was all done at the Tokyo Game Show, you know, which was cool. That makes sense. This is just a PR post at 3 in the morning. Basically, let me read you a few highlights. Streamers are and always will be the foundation of our global community. It's your passion, hard work, and creativity that makes Twitch the one-of-a-kind place it is. To bring it back around more directly to this blog post topic, we can't run this service unless you make money. That's not a drawback, it's by design. This innate partnership is what supports all streamers' careers and ambitions, but like their own. So let me see. There's a real good one in here somewhere. So basically, they talked about they're trying to high road people because people have been fighting for 70-30 for a long time. People said, why not 70-30? So basically, they started to say we established a 50-50 split. It was originally that we were in this together. They tried to high road it and be like, well, when we went 50-50, we tried to say we're in this together. How are we in this together? Who the fuck is in this together? This is literally the we're a family of this company. Shut the fuck up. What do you mean? I think many people were expecting that if they had pushed the ad incentive and that there was more ads being run on Twitch and they were making more money, they would keep the 70-30 because that would be in creators' best interests. But they've decided not to do that. They've decided to be more greedy about it and keep it. Let's go a little further. We've all streamers to 70-30. Okay. At the time of this posting, more than 22,000 of you have weighed in on user voice asking to move all streamers to 70-30 and to pay streamers faster. Let's chat about the latter part first. Oh, really? Let's talk about the latter part first because they don't even want to address the first part. So they talk about how they picked up the pace so that instead of a $100 payout, it's $50 to pay out now. Ooh, like that should not be something that in 2022 with mobile deposit, with direct deposit, all that shit should not be something that is like bragged about. And then and here's the kicker. Investments like these are paying off for streamers. Products like Prime subs, community gifting, Hype Train, and ad incentive program, to add a few, have driven an increase of 27% more streamer revenue per hour every year over the last 5 years. Prime subs often get lost in the conversation when it comes to revenue share. For Prime subs, we pay streamers the amount they'd receive for a regular subscription, even though it's included as an additive benefit of their Prime subscription. Bro, when you pay for Amazon Prime, it literally says in the description that you can use it as a once a month benefit to a streamer to pay for a regular subscription. This isn't free. They're passing this off as if they're doing you a service already with Prime subs. They're like, dude, people don't mention the Prime subs. We already do a service for you. You're already making the money on it. What are you talking about? Dude, you know how many things are packaged in an Amazon Prime subscription that people never use? Think about like Amazon Prime like music. What is the Prime music subscription that's in there? There's like 4 or 5 things that are in there that no one ever even touches. They don't even know it exists. This is one of the things that's listed. When you pay for an Amazon Prime subscription, like Amazon Prime, like everything, you get this included. So what they're trying to tell you is you should be happy we're paying you because the Prime subs are free included in your Prime deal, like your Amazon Prime deal. That makes no sense. Like when you pay the $150 or whatever $200 it is a year now for Amazon Prime, that's included in the price.
My community sit through 7 minutes of ads per hour just so I can buy cat food and force them to sub to me for no ads. That's such a genius idea, Twitch Tehe. By the way, we should feel bad for them. Keeping up the service for a big streaming website owned by the richest guy in the world must be hard. God,
it gets even worse. It gets even fucking worse. They come down here and they talk about live video for 100 ICU streamer who streams 200 hours a month are more than $1,000 per month. They just said, on average, 200 hours a month you should be streaming. You know, like, this is the average streamer streams 200 a month. Do you know why the average streamer streams 200 hours a month? If that's like what they're saying? Which, first off, anyone want to do some quick maths in chat of what 200 hours is a month for weekly? It's 50 hours a week. Yes, 50 hours a week. Most streamers do about 50 hours a week or more. You have your emongs that do more, your XQCs that do way more. Most streamers are technically their own businesses. The reason they stream extra are because of 3 reasons. 1, they actually enjoy it and they're having more fun and they want to keep going and they enjoy the grind. 2, they gotta make fucking ends meet. And sometimes that means working some overtime. Everyone in life knows what that's like. Or, sorry, most people in life know what that's like. And number 3, even for the people that are doing well, people that want to chase for better life, there's nothing wrong with chasing a better life. That's basically what our society is built on, you know? If somebody wants to work 100 hours a week and try to make a bunch of money, that's their right. But you're going to have no social life. You're going to not have any good hobbies. And you're going to fucking hate things. I'm really confused here. Because I think it's TOS for me to show you my ad incentive. But I'll be honest with you. Because now we can just talk about this shit. Because who gives a fuck? My ad incentive for like this month was like $400. And that was with like 2 minutes of ads, 3 minutes of ads, 4 minutes of ads. So basically, I'd be required to run like 4 minutes of ads per hour for you. So, you know when I go to the bathroom and I run some ads? I've been starting to do that recently in fear that this actually ended up happening and that people started to get used to it. I don't want to do that because ads don't make any fucking money for a streamer my size. There's like an in-between that my whole income is off of subs. Like, someone do sub count. Like, go look at my sub count versus ML, J, Emong, anyone else that's like the daytime streamers. My sub count carries completely because we have a lot of people here that like gift subs, and we do like events for it, right? Like, we do Pokemon. When you want to take part in Pokemon, you know, it's gifted subs for names, gifted subs for gifting encounters, fucking up the run, like killing off Pokemon, nuking the whole run and making me start over from scratch. We do that all through subs, right? There's another part of this that people maybe don't realize. You hear something like 50 hours a week, and it's like, well, you work 10 hours overtime a week. Who cares that? That means, though, we also don't get benefits. Hear me out on this, okay? I'm a newsflash you real fast.
Cover your monthly DoorDash dab.
Yeah, true. Honestly, true. I've actually been trying to be a little bit better about it recently. Not great about it, but still trying to be better about it. Let's be honest with ourselves for a second. So, I live in Massachusetts, otherwise known as Taxachusetts. Taxachusetts is one of the highest tax rates in the country. I put away about like 30%, give or take, for my taxes. So take however much I make for everything, put away 30%. I pay 9 editors. Technically it's 8, I think. My only one that's profitable at the moment is my main channel. Flats 2 is actually very close to becoming profitable, which is big W. And I love the content that's on there. So anyways, 30% income tax? No, I mean, like, I take 30% of all I make and I put it away for taxes. Everything. I always do that. And like last year, it was very close. Like, I was just about on par. Anything that comes in, I take 30% of it. Actually, I actually put about like 40% away, to be fair, because it goes in my savings account. Because if you looked at my savings account, you'd be like, oh my God, he has a bunch of money. No. Uncle Sam comes fucking yoinks that at the end of the year. There's a reason why I still live in the same apartment that I do. Anyways, not the point. So I live in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is actually a very great state. You have things like Mass Health. Mass Health is like state-funded health insurance, etc. But like once you live on your own, you make some money, you can't be on that anymore, which is fine. So I have private health insurance. My health insurance is like $650 a month. I just have to eat that. If I want to take time off, who's going to pay me during my time off? Nobody. The only thing I would get paid during my time off is if I have sponsorship checks coming in. So like, for example, like Mayhem, I'm contracted by Mayhem to stream for them, right? If I technically didn't stream, then Mayhem would still pay me, right? But there's another back end of that, because when I go to Mayhem at the end of the year and I'm like, hey, I streamed X amount of hours, I had X amount of impressions through 4 YouTube channels and my Twitch channel, Twitter, etc. I had X amount of watch hours, X amount of content was made. All of that stuff is taken into account when we end up coming up with a number at the end of the year, right? So if I take a bunch of time off, that number comes lower and my bargaining power becomes lower. And then on top of that too, I'm not paid for taking the time off. That's why streamers don't take any fucking time off. Even if we could probably do it for a few months, because there's another end. Because the other end is if Twitch also has this really fucked up system where if you don't stream for a while, if you stop streaming for a week, for some reason, it turns off your notifications to your followers. And I actually can show you pretty much, if I could show like if I had better stats to show you, like it used to say for me that 92% of my following would get a notification. It's now like 70. Like just like one night, it just dropped 20% over like a few days of not streaming. That makes no sense. If you stop streaming, then you stop being more relevant. People stop like seeing you, like for, let's say in the Overwatch economy. In the Overwatch economy, for streaming, and this is actually how a lot of like very small streamers, like especially one tricks, end up building themselves up, is by streaming every day and by playing every day. You end up getting on other streamer streams. So like, let's say you watch ML7 every day. You watch ML7 and then you see like this certain, I don't know, Lucio player in their games every single day, and you watch and you see the single Lucio player, and then there's a day where ML7 doesn't stream, and then like normally you watch Emong, but let's say Emong doesn't stream either that day, and you're like, oh, what the heck, who do I watch now? And then like on Sundays, because especially Sundays, nobody streams on Sundays. If I was a brand new streamer, I would stream 12 hours, maybe even like 15 hours on Sundays, because everyone takes Sunday off. And I go play Pokemon too. So I like, let's say they go scroll through the directory on Sunday and they say, oh, that's that Lucio player that I saw, I always see on ML7 stream. I didn't know they stream, and they go watch their game. Guess what? Now that's someone that got found by them playing all the time and being a part of that economy. You don't stream and you don't play the game, or you don't play, like put in the time, you're not going to grow. So like, it takes so much effort to get the ball rolling. And anyone who knows who started streaming knows that. Anyone who's ever in history, think about it. Anyone who's ever started streaming knows how hard it is to get your first viewer. Get your first 5 viewers, get your first 10 viewers. Same thing on YouTube. Get your first 100 views, get your first 1,000 views. It is so fucking hard to get that ball rolling. You never want that ball to stop, because if it stops, it's much, 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 much harder to get it rolling again. So you have to keep it rolling. How do you keep it rolling? You keep fucking pushing it. How do you keep pushing it? By putting in more effort. You don't stop. If you stop pushing it to take a break, the ball slows down. The ball slows down, it's harder to get moving again. So you're in this unending thread where you're constantly having to push harder and constantly having to move it, because you can always chase the goals of like, oh, maybe I'll be the next Tim the Tapman or XQC someday, and chase these bigger goals. But reality, it's not fucking healthy. I think I'm a good example of that. It's not healthy. Dude, like when I started streaming, I stopped going to the gym and shit. I never had time. And then when I did have time, I didn't feel like going because I had things IRL I needed to do. There are things, and like, of course, there's arguments to be made. It's like, oh, like you could always make more time, but that's not the point. The point is, though, is like I end up rationalizing to myself, but I could put a few more stream hours in. I could put more effort into this. I could put more effort into that. It always comes back around to the point of can't really take a break. This kind of shit is so out of touch, and there's people that are saying that the ad incentive is pretty good for them. And it's like I think I saw like Toaster said that like it's like doubling his sub income, which is huge, and like that's awesome for those people. But mine is almost all carried by subs, so maybe that's why, because my subbed viewers are not getting ads. There's a friend of mine who actually plays Overwatch. I met him forever ago. His name's Cry. You'll see him pop in here every once in a while. I like Cry. We used to play Tarkov off stream all the fucking time. And Cry at one point actually was getting to like being like 100 viewer streamer, and he was popping, and he had some stuff happen. He had to take some time away. He wasn't able to build it back up again. Like the need to take time off just kind of fucked him. I haven't really ever talked to him about it because like I understand shit happens, but it's like, dude, like, how sad that is to see. Like I knew he had the chance to like become a huge streamer, and then like some unfortunate life shit happened, and it's the momentum's gone. And it's like, dude, do you fuck up your IRL shit to keep that momentum going? Like, what's like, where do you now like analyze like what's the risk versus not the risk? If anything, I don't know. Like, I feel like especially a lot of small streamers are probably going to struggle a lot harder now, because I would have never been able to get to the point where I could stream full time if it wasn't for subs. Like, There's people in chat right now that have been here since I was a tiny streamer that carried me into streaming. I see some of you. And to be honest with you, I am still technically a small streamer, like in my own mind. Small to medium in Overwatch, small in the grand scheme of things. Not tiny, but small. Because we're like, I would say anyone under 1,000 is on the smaller area. And because then you have those people that are like the juggernauts, who have 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 100, you know. Like those are obviously like the big ones. And I say that because it's like the idea of someone who makes, like, I almost think it's, and this is God, I'm going so far off the fucking rails, but it's the difference between someone who like has the mentality of like, eat the rich. It's like, dude, like there's people out there that do not pay their fair share. But then there's also people that believe that people that make 100,000 a year are rich. No, dude. People who make 100,000 a year are not fucking rich. People are rich, make billions with a fucking B. You know how hard it is to spend $1 billion? Dude, there are people that literally could go out and literally just keep swiping their card as fast as they could, and they could never spend it all. They would just keep making more before they would spend it. That's what that phrase is, in my mind means, but not the point. Point is, this shit is just unbelievably insane. The whole idea of we're trying to make you run more ads, so your service is gonna suck more, your viewership's gonna suck. Like you guys are gonna fucking suffer, not me. I mean, I guess I do too, but mostly you guys suffer because your viewership gets fucked. Because if I choose this incentive, okay, let's say I choose this dog shit ad incentive. Listen to me. The way this shit works is, do you see this bar right here? You see this thing? It's called Ads Manager.
Milady.
When you opt into the ad program, you have to commit to running X amount of ads per hour based on the incentive. It could be a minute, which never really happens. It could be like 2, 3, 4, 5. I've seen up to 8 minutes per hour. What this means is that there's a bar that spawns here on this bar, and you have to run an ad before it gets there. If you forget, or you don't run an ad, that's how you end up watching someone stream and randomly getting an ad mid-game. That's how it happens. Because they didn't get a chance to check, or they lost track of time. Let's say they looked right now and they're like, oh, we have 35 minutes till the next ad. I'll play the next game. And then they play a game and it's only like 15 minutes. And they're like, oh, okay, I have another like 20 minutes. I can probably finish another game. And then the next game goes like 20 minutes or so. And then like right as it ends, you go to the bathroom, come back, and then like the start of the next game happens instantly. And within the first 2 minutes, you end up getting an ad, you know? That's a shitty viewer experience. Genuinely, it's a shitty viewer experience. It's why people don't like ads on Twitch. People on YouTube don't give a fuck. YouTube for the longest time has had a culture where ads are normal.
Again, hands up.
Give subs ads again. No, I don't want to do that.